Welcome back to Texas Boy Studios. It's your host, Texas Boy. Now check it out. We got a banger of a video right here, okay? But look, first I must address why I've been so absent. So to my viewers, I do apologize for not dropping no videos. But as humans, unfortunately, we have to make sure that our mental and our physical is always well. So that way we can do better for ourselves. So with that being said, let's get on with it. We're gonna be dropping videos every single Sunday. We're hitting on everything, hitting on all cylinders, everything you can think of that involves, combat sports, whether it be wrestling, jujitsu, um, boxing. You know what I mean? So we got RAF. You know what I mean? We got boxing promotions. Obviously, you ain't got Top Ranked, you ain't got HBO, and you ain't got like Mayweather promotions and stuff like that. We don't have those no more. So 2026 turned into a crazy year, turned into a different year. Not a difficult year, just a different year. As we know, Zuffa Boxing has taken hold uh, of up and coming boxers. So obviously, people that are already established and on their way out, they're just trying to change the game. So 20, 30 years from now, the game will be changed in boxing as we know it. It'll be more structured like MMA because of folks like Dana White and Riyadh Season, uh, uh, Turkey Al Sheikh, and people like that. You're going to start to see things shift, things turn, tides change. Um, and with that being said, the main part of this video is UFC 324. We got a banger. Okay. So now I'm gonna drop this video right after on Sunday, right after I drop the video for the reaction video for UFC 323. I'm gonna drop the UFC 324 video. But with UFC 324, it is about to be madness. Okay. It is going down Saturday, January 24th at the T-Mobile Arena, Las Vegas, Nevada. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Broadcast time on Paramount Plus. They are switching over. They are moving from pay-per-view to Paramount Plus, as we all know it, which is also AKA CBS Network. It's going to be headlined by Justin Gaethje and Paddy Pimblett for the UFC Interim Lightweight Championship. Now, it's a high-stakes matchup, and it's already got fans buzzing around the world. Does Paddy deserve it? He beat Michael Chandler. Look, bro. Michael Chandler went for that belt against Charles Oliveira. He went for the belt right after he beat Dan Hooker. You know what I'm saying? He was about to go face Islam for the belt. It seemed like every time he got his first win, boom, he got a crack at the title. Boom, he got a loss off the title. Boom, come back, got a win, got another crack at the title. So why doesn't Paddy, the baddie, deserve when he beats Michael Chandler? Michael Chandler is the favorite in the UFC lightweight division by Dana White. We can all see that clear as day. Why in the matchmakers, because the matchmakers are another part of it. There's a three-part to it. There's Dana White, and then there's the two matchmakers. Okay, and then obviously there's Hunter Campbell, but he's just a lawyer. So if they want to tell him get the hell out the room, he's got to get the hell out the room. Okay. So Hunter Campbell calls the fighters and makes decisions like that. But when it comes to these fights right here, he's not making these types. He's making the calls, but three people are making this decision right here for a Paddy Pimblett versus Justin Gaethje for an interim title fight. So if the champ is sitting out, this is how it goes. If the champ is sitting out, okay, then obviously there needs to be a replacement title fight, right? And that's what this is. This is a replacement title fight. Okay. Now, I got a question for you guys. Okay. I got a question for you guys. And the question is, as I drink out of my pink cup here, I want the people on the other side of this camera hating on me now. I got some good coffee in here. You guys would like it. I got a question for you guys. Sincerely. Fans, y'all and me included, and analysts around the world are debating whether promotions are prioritizing hype over real fights. Now, you've heard Dana White come out and he said, oh, the number one contender is fighting the champion. Number one contender in this situation is technically Arman Tsarukyan. Everybody knows that. He literally just went out in Qatar a few weeks ago and just beat Dan Hooker. So can't sit here and say that, okay, yeah, he pulled out of the fight with Islam. Yeah, he hurt his back. Blah, blah, blah. Yada, yada. But that's not the whole point. The point is he got called up to do a fight. He went out there and did a fight. We all know if Dan Hooker would have beat Arman Tsarukyan, he would be next for the title fight. We all know that. Okay, clear as day. Okay. We all know that the promoter and the fighters can have hiccups, beefs. Okay. Now, whether they got that going on or not, it's not for me to worry about. What it is for me to worry about is the co-main event of UFC 324. And what I am going to worry about is when we got the women's bantamweight title fight that we all been waiting for. And honestly, I thought wasn't going to happen until June of 2026 at the White House, to be honest with you. I felt like they were going to have Kayla sit out that entire time, which would be absolutely bogus because, she needs time to cut down to 35, but at the same time, you need to keep her busy while she's in her prime. So we got Kayla Harrison, the champ, versus the GOAT, or the GWOAT, as I should say, Amanda Nunes. Now, I'll put it in parentheses because, yeah, you've beat this person, you've beat that person, you beat all the likes of the people, actually. So in the women's division, you are looked at and considered a GOAT in the UFC. Okay? Now, by beating Cyborg, obviously you didn't fight her, in her prime. You fought her at the end of her career. Blah, 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 blah. You got the dub. People call you the GOAT. It is what it is. But you're going up against Kayla Harrison, two-time Olympic gold medalist. Just get that out the way. There is no more. Henderson Cejudo is done after Saturday night. He's going to get out the way. Henderson Cejudo's out the way after Saturday night. No more Triple C. Okay? It's going to be Kayla Harrison, the real two-time Olympic gold medalist. And look, the other fights below that are bangers. Okay, so we got the 2 title fights. Okay, straight bangers on the rest of the card. Now, the rest of the card, we got ex-world champions and ex-world champion titleists throughout the rest of the card, I feel. So we got Sean O'Malley versus Song Yadong at bantamweight. It's going to be a fire of a card. I don't know if y'all seen on the weigh-ins, but obviously I'm recording this on a Friday. But I don't know if y'all seen this on the weigh-ins. But Sean O'Malley had the mask on. So, anyways, we got Derek Lewis at a heavyweight versus Waldo Cortez Acosta. Now, I don't know if y'all guys know, but Waldo, he got poked in the eye. The fight looked like it was about to get discontinued because due to eye poke, and then all of a sudden, the fight gets restarted. He wins by via knockout. Crazy turn of events. 3 fights in 3 months, by the way, back to back to back. Heavyweights don't have to really cut that much weight, so they can fight as often as they need to. And we got Arnold Allen versus Gene Silva. Gene Silva took a hellacious beating from Diego Lopez, the one, the only. We're going to talk about him in another video. Then we got a women's flyweight non-title fight, but 2 women who have held the belt. So these are ex-titleists right here. We got Thug Rose, Nami Nunes versus Alex Grasso. And then we got Umar Nurmagomedov versus Davison Figueiredo at bantamweight. Obviously, Umar coming off the loss against the champ, who is going to be defending his belt on Saturday night. And then we got additional bouts Nikita Krylov, Alex Perez, and Josh Hokett. Now, Josh Hokett, if you don't know who that is, he's a guy that's coming in looking like Arnold, not an Arnold, but a Hulk Hogan, as I should say. Uh, he's got the swagger, he's got the bagger, and he's got he's coming off of 3 knockouts, I believe. Now I believe that his, if I'm not mistaken. So anyway, I was right. Josh Hokett, he's he's coming off of his 3 fight knockouts. He just got into the UFC, I believe, off the Contender Series, if I'm not mistaken, and he called out one Walter Walker, I believe, a few weeks ago. But obviously, Walter Walker is, oh, I don't know who this guy is. I'm a Brazilian, you know, things like that, right? So absolutely crazy stacked card right there. I mean, just bangers after bangers after bangers. I'm really liking the Alex Perez versus Charles Johnson at flyweight. That's gonna be a really, really good banger. I feel like that's gonna knock out, they those guys get that out the way, then we can start to get through the rankings and get to the title shot in the flyweight division, because that's what's going down Saturday. Excuse me. I have indigestion. That's what's going down Saturday. And man, okay, let's sit here and talk about the UFC and the Paramount Plus deal for a second. The UFC Paramount deal is bigger than you could ever imagine. Okay. So for 30 years, they've been having pay-per-view model, right? They got it from boxing. They were like, oh, this is how we're going to grow the business. This is how we're going to grow the UFC brand, is by doing the pay-per-view model. Now, obviously, big numbered events, pay-per-view. Small, not numbered events, just regular fight nights. Get your little subscription, get out the way. But hold on. You get a little subscription, get out the way. I understand you guys want to exercise the most that you could ever get for your fights, and I get that. But if you're streaming, okay, if Netflix has one of the most astounding 300 million subscribers, and then let's say like the UFC has, for an example, let's say they have, I don't know, they ain't got no 300 million, tell you that right now. Let's just say they got 10 million subscribers. Let's just say they got 10 million. Okay. Now, out of those 10 million, how many people are actually watching the fights? Let's say 70%. So you got 30% out of 10 million. So that's 3 million right there. Bang. So 7 million people are watching the fights that night that are subscribed, and 3 million are not. Okay. Maybe they didn't like the card. Maybe they're just a casual. Whatever the case may be, that's 3 million people you're missing out on. Okay. Now imagine that's a regular UFC fight card where they're all subscribed. Now imagine if 3 million people out of 10 million ain't watching it. They don't got that many, but if, let's just say they do. Now if 3 million out of 10 million ain't watching it, and that's subscription base, add another extra $80 on top of that subscription base. Now out of 10 million, 3 of them ain't watching for sure on a subscription model. They're not watching. Now you got to take out another half because of the pay-per-view model, the $80 extra. You already got people that aren't watching because of the subscription model. Now you got more people that aren't going to watch because of the pay-per-view model. And then that's when the league streaming comes in, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. So for a little bit of more money, you get all the fights. Now, granted, the UFC White House card I believe that should be free and live on ABC, right? I feel like that's the way to do that, right? Because you could antenna, bang, you get ABC. But I think they're gonna make it a pay-per-view, and I think they're gonna fuck up. I think they're gonna mess it up tremendously by making it not. It's a numbered event, but it's the only one in the world. The UFC in the White House, you know, they're gonna come out with a promotional heat plus a card to back it up. Oh man, it's already over. You know what I mean? But nonetheless, still going to be a great card. Still going to be a banger of an event. You know, the UFC White House card is going to be, and I can't wait. And obviously, we got Conor McGregor and Michael Chandler that's going to headline it. And speaking of Conor McGregor, has anybody seen his? Obviously, he hasn't been fighting, so there's nothing but court cases going out. And there's another reason why he's not fighting, because he's got a lot of court cases. He's got a lot of things outside of the octagon that he has to handle. High profile comeback in suspended cases. Conor McGregor had a sexual assault civil lawsuit from 2023 recently dropped, which has reignited talk about a potential return. Given McGregor's massive name value and past fights, any comeback will draw a huge attention, whether people hate it or love it. Now, look, the thing with that is the UFC White House card is going to be bigger than ever. First of his kind, last of his kind. Ain't nobody else doing that shit because they don't got the money to waste to spend to create something so valuable. But with Conor's outside appearances in courts and things like that, everything's starting to come to light. Like, yeah, he might have got put in a bad positions, but ultimately everything's coming to the light. Lawsuits from 2 years ago, almost 3 years ago, are getting dropped. Sounds like he's in a good level headspace. So I can't wait to see the comeback of the return of the great one, the notorious Conor McGregor. And I hope you guys can't wait either. Now, like I said, I'm going to be doing more videos, no more slacking, no more lacking. I thank you guys for everything that you've given me, which is your love and your support and your feedback. Now, there's a comment section down below. There's a like button. There's a share button to get my channel out, to grow it, to expand the base, our community, this family that we have growing. And until next time, I'm going to catch you in the next video, all right? Peace out.